sorry, I was muted again. So let me go ahead and unmute myself there. So we're going to go ahead and get started in now. We're recording this meeting. We're going to talk about with this cookie chat, closing out the cookie season. Feel free to go ahead and type any questions that you have inside of the chat box or the question and answer box. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the rewards tab and doing the final rewards because I know a lot of you have been attending the cookie chat. So you've been doing everything else that we've talked about, assigning cookies and everything. So you just need to know about doing the final rewards. Then we will go through about other things that you may not have done if this is your first cookie chat or anything that you might have missed during the cookie season. So we'll come back and kind of hit some of those things that we want to remind you to do. So under the rewards tab, you're going to make sure that you're choosing the final rewards and that you actually be filling it out for each girl from it. And so some of you may have already got with the caregivers and asked for what the reward choices were. I did send out to all the service unit cookie managers what confirmation lists for caregivers that I received. And so they do have that to share out there. Otherwise, you can email us and I can send you which list of rewards because there was an error on my part. I thought it was going to send it in the confirmation to the troop, the list of rewards, like it did to the caregiver when they filled it out. But for some reason, it did not. So I did get that corrected. So any of the ones that you got at the end of last week or the weekend or so, you may have seen that correction. But anybody else that submitted, I had to get that corrected there from it. And I just found out about that last week. So we're going to show you now in the demo site. So you're going to go under that rewards tab. And so when you click on the rewards tab, you'll see final reward order. And so you're going to go ahead and fill it out. And this would be after you've assigned all your cookies to all the girls there from it. So you would be seeing your girls here. So when you click on each girl, you'll see here it has the 2 rewards. Some of them are automatic for the level. So you're just checking, verifying that you're seeing everything come in there from it. And then you'll go ahead and click in the button that says submit girl order. I just do want to talk about right here with the DOC total emails. They're not going to show up yet because Esther actually has to get the report from Digital Cookie next week after the sale ends. They have to send us the report of all the emails that the girls sent out so we can actually upload it into eBuddy because Digital Cookie does not send the number of emails over. Okay, it only does the boxes and things like that, the packages, it doesn't tell us the number of emails. So we actually have to submit that separately there. So you just want to check and verify everything's good, and then you submit that girl order. And so you'll just do that for all of your girls. So you would just go to the next girl, you would make sure that you had the right choices there from it. If you tried to put in extra ones or something like that, it would tell you that too many there are selected from it. If you try to do it without, then it would tell you you didn't select enough for a certain level. So you just want to make sure that you have the right choices in there from it, and then you'll submit for each girl as you go through your girls there. So after you get all the girls submitted, the last thing you just want to make sure that you do is that you'll want to can scroll through, you'll be able to see what all your totals will be there from it. And then at the very bottom, you'll submit that reward order, and it tells you may only submit your reward order once there. Do you want to proceed from it? So just understand that you will get locked out from doing any of the data entry and rewards March 19th there from it. Service units still have access. The service unit cookie manager will have access until the 22nd at 11:59 there from it. So you do just remind girls and parents that if they choose an event, and they're not really certain that they would be available for the days. I know it's right now a lot of them are to be announced, but I can give you the kind of range date ranges in there. That then they should choose the council doe if they don't think so. Otherwise, if they're not able to attend, then they'll get switched to council doe anyways from it. So the Disney Broadway virtual experience, Esther has that the dates they have I guess, available until we submit how many girls are going to it are set for June 20th through July 10th. So I guess after we send our number in, then they're going to let us know when the exact date and time would be for us. The horse day camp experience, I believe it's because there was some issue of when summer camp and when their staff and everything will be there at Wildwood and with everything opening up. So I believe it's supposed to be like mid or end of May to if it depends on the number of girls, if we'll go into the beginning of June or not from it, of how many girls we need to who qualify for that horse day camp experience there from it. So I know they're still working out some details with that. You understand that rewards will be sent, the physical rewards are sent to the service unit cookie manager, and so they should be arriving typically mid-April to end of April. We did push back the sale, so it may be a little bit later in April that they'll arrive. Council dough or credits will automatically be added to the girls' MyGS account, and so that's new this year. We started it with fall, where the parent receives an email with instructions on how to use the credits. And so, what happens if you go to the store, you would tell them what your girl's name and troop number is, and then they would be able to look up the credits and apply them to the transaction in the store. Same thing for online. You would contact customer connections for an event and then let them know that you want to use the council dough credits, and they would look up the account and apply those as payment into the system that way. So that's something new this year. Girls who earned the experiences will be emailed ticket information directly to the caregiver's email. So you do want to just make sure all your caregivers are putting the right email address. They're updating it in the MyGS account because that's where Esther our person who does the reports, it comes out that way. So that's where she's sending all of those emails with that information there. Extreme rewards, Esther will get those shipped out directly to the girls. And again, she'll contact the caregivers via those email addresses. The cookie crossover patch is mailed directly from the vendor. And so I know Esther was already looking through the list of verifying of who sent the correct number of emails out in fall. And then she has to verify with what they sell for cookies if they earn that cookie crossover patch. So I think it's like 270 packages that they had to sell for cookies there. And then the cookie techie patch, like I said, we have to upload that report of the emails. So that will happen next week when she gets that report. And so that's the patch will show up there from it. So just be aware of that. I know we have some questions, so I'm just going to go ahead. Oh, what's council dough? Council dough is like council money. It has when you look at the reward cards, you'll see that if you didn't want to choose the prize, you could choose a certain dollar amount of council dough, and then that's able to be used inside of the Girl Scout stores, the trading posts at like summer camps and stuff like that. But also, it was also good for any of our events through council too. From it, also can be used. For memberships and things like that too. Also, like for service unit encampments, they can pay that, and the service unit then turns it back into us for reimbursement and things like that. So there's a way of using the council dough that way too from it. Okay, so and then how do you distribute troop cookies, the ones that were shipped and credited to troops? I'm going to get to that, Allison, just a little bit later. We'll talk about how to handle that troop virtual link there from it. Okay, and put that one away, and let me just see in chat now. Oh, Yeah, sorry. So I think we're all good now that I just had not unmuted myself earlier. So we're good with that. So let's go ahead and just talk about some other things that you want to do. Make sure one of the most important things is if you had cookies on the cookie exchange and you have already transferred them out to another troop or you no longer have them to offer up, make sure you update your packages. So put in the right number that you have left, or if you no longer have cookies to exchange, go ahead and remove your offerings, because this is the time where we have a lot of troops out there starting to look for cookies as the warehouses are running out of cookie supply. So we want to make sure that if you have extra cookies, put them out there for the cookie exchange, and hopefully we can get a troop to take them off of your hands there. But it's important because sometimes troops will get frustrated of trying to contact troops. If every troop they contact, the person goes, "Oh no, I don't have those cookies," but they have them there showing that, yeah, you do. You say you have 8 tag-alongs and 5 limit ups in the system there. So make sure you do update it by just putting in the right amount and then clicking update packages or remove your offerings there from it. The next thing is the transaction tab. Please make sure you go back and verify all your transactions are correct. If you're missing any or you have extra transactions, contact council or the troop that you received or gave cookies to make sure that both troops didn't do the troop to troop transfer, because occasionally that happens where one troop goes, "Oh yeah, you can do it," and they didn't see the troop do it, so they went ahead and did it, but then the other troop didn't realize that they were just a little late in doing it, and so they did it again from it. So just make sure that you check and verify. So if you have any problems, contact counsel so that we can try to help you work through those. The girl transactions, just make sure that when we talk about assigning cookies, that make sure you date and name all your transactions in eBuddy, just so that when you do ask for help or somebody else is looking in eBuddy about a situation, we understand what those transactions are for. Also, remember you should make sure that every caregiver signed an itemized receipt every time they pick up cookies or every time they give you a payment. We want to make sure that that's documented. So if you need to turn somebody in for outstanding payments, you've got the proper documentation with those receipts there. So again, make sure you should be using all those receipts. We want to make sure so that it can show what that outstanding, balance is still due and things like that. We know what's actually due there correctly. Digital girl delivery orders. It's just important. Caregivers were sent out emails from Girl Digital Cookie about girl delivery orders. So it sent out reminders last week and this week for them to check their girl delivery orders. So I'm getting a lot of calls from customers saying they have not received their girl delivery orders. So I've been reaching out to troops and caregivers to find out whether they've got the cookies, if they're planning on doing the delivery, or if it should be canceled. So if a girl delivery needs to be canceled due to being out of the area, the caregiver can go ahead and call Digital Cookie. So that phone number is listed inside Digital Cookie on the address book page where they put the email addresses to send out. The phone number is right there from it, but it's the 1-888-791-2634 because we do want to make sure that customers are not expecting cookies if they're out of state and the caregiver is not going to be mailing them to them. So we want to get those canceled out there as quick as possible. Also, because you want to remember if they cancel the order, the money's going to be removed from the girl and eBuddy when that sale is canceled. And especially if they already if you already gave the caregiver those cookies for that order, then they either need to return the cookies to the troop or they just need to pay for the cookies themselves or sell them to somebody else and pay the troop from it. So we're having some issues with that when I've contacted them and then the troop, because I always copy the troop leaders, and they're finding out that there's some issues of that they've gotten cookies and now they're not delivering them and the money's gone away from the payment. So we want to make sure that everything is done as quick as possible in the system. So we want to make sure that those caregivers are doing that if they need to cancel by this week, so we can get this all tied up by the season end there from it. Okay, because all girl delivered orders closed out last week. Okay, so they're not able to put any more girl delivery orders in that ended last week. They can only do shipped or donations. With digital cookie delivery orders, I do just want to kind of talk about it because there is some issues with people. Again, when I'm contacting them, the caregiver says, I didn't know I had these sales. Um, so remind your caregivers if they say they don't know where the sales report is, it's right there on the dashboard. When they click on that sales report icon there, it will bring up and show what the reports are. You just want to make sure that they're actually going over to that online cookies girl delivered tab, clicking on that so they actually can see what the cookies were, their totals, what those orders are from it, and they can print or download that report or email it to themselves there from it. And so let me just correct that from it. So just be aware. Also, you can email them the report too. So if they said they didn't know about it, you can do that and they'll be able to see all of their sales there from it. So because again, we want to make sure that they are getting delivered. And so there is just been some questions. Some people weren't really sure what cookies came over. Hopefully everyone knows now on the initial order tab screen that if it was the girl delivered that came over before with the initial order, they would be showing up there. So in this case, they had 7 packages and they had a total of 8 on their paper order card. So they had a total of 15 packages. So 8 for paper order was $41 is what they needed to pay because $36 was already paid online, and that matches when we take a look here. So what you'll see is the 2 girl delivered orders. It doesn't show the cookies because they're in that 15 total there from it, but it shows you that -20 and the -16 for that $36 that was paid. So out of that $77 that showed was owed, 36 of it was already paid, so they only owed 41 more dollars off of their paper order card. You want to make sure that hopefully you were doing it throughout, but if you didn't, then you want to make sure you're assigning any additional girl delivered orders. So here after that initial order, they got another girl delivered order, and you'll see that it didn't show the cookies. It just showed the payment of $30 and shows that -30. So the troop leader, when the caregiver came to pick up those cookies, they wrote the receipt out, had him sign it, and put in here into eBuddy. They did an add transaction where they put in the date and said it was online. And so this one, she was kind of documenting it beforehand so that she knew that when they were picking up, what they're going to be picking up from their initial order there from it. So it was going to get 5 more packages. She put in that it was the 5 toffee tastic, that it was $30. So that payment is now getting assigned to those 30 dollars worth of cookies that were put in there, so that balances out. So you always should be making sure that what your girl delivery should be balancing out to what you're giving, unless the caregiver was using cookies they already had from their initial order there from it. So you just want to make sure and verify those orders. And again, they had another girl delivered, and so it was for another $30 there. This time it ended up being 6 packages of Thin Mints for the $30 that was balancing with it. And if you're ever not sure about what the cookies were or anything like that, remember that you can always click under there instead of going from all sales down to girl delivery, so that it will actually break it up and show you what the initial girl deliver orders were, that those 2 orders there for those 7 packages, and then here were the 11 additional boxes. And so again, remember, if you're giving those cookies to the caregiver, then you want to make sure that you add that transaction in there. And what that does is that actually is removing it out of your troops inventory and assigning it to the girl so that the rewards will be correct for that girl. If a parent uses the take the customer payment button in the digital cookie um, uh, site off the dashboard, it will come over and look like a girl delivered. So that's why you always just want to verify with the caregiver when you see the girl delivery orders. Was it truly a girl delivery order? or was it them using that take customer payment button? Okay, so if it was just to take the customer payment button, then that's just going to reduce the amount of money that's owed for any paper orders they picked up. So just always check and make sure about that. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to everyone there from it. Um, to add a transaction to a girl, so if you're doing for those girl delivery cookies, then it's real easy. Remember, add a transaction, put in the date, the name of what the transaction is, put in the number of cookies there. And since if they were already paid online, you're not going to put paid because the amount of money is already shown there in eBuddy. You just click OK, and then remember to click the save button. And that you do the same thing if you had a payment or if it was the paper order, that you want to make sure that you are naming those transactions. And every time a girl got additional cookies from you, you should have written out a receipt and put that into eBuddy under that transaction. Okay, so that should be showing. So it's assigning the cookies out of your troop inventory there from it. Again, I'm just going to check to see no more questions there. We're going to get to that in just a second. The cookie booths. So with cookie booths, it's important to make sure again that you are signing those troop cookies that you used at your cookie booth. If it was a booth that was selected in eBuddy there or recorded in eBuddy, then you can use the drop down to record sales, and we'll open up the screen. You would choose the location and then open up the screen here. So you can put in the number of cookies that you sold there from it. You would uncheck any girls that did not participate at that cookie booth, and you can distribute them, or you can actually manually distribute if you were doing it kind of by how long a girl stayed. So Gemma would get more cookies than Kennedy because she stayed at the booth longer than Kennedy. You could do that manually. Just don't use the distribute button. You just use the submit sale after you do it. But that would go ahead and record that sale in automatically there. If it's a booth that was not recorded in eBuddy, then you'll just use that add transaction button. You'll click that button to open up the line there. And again, you'd be putting the date and title of the transaction. Just remember to check the little booth box there from it, and then you would just be putting in the number of cookies and then putting in that payment there. So I will just show you, let's just cancel out, how easy that is when you're doing that. So again, you just do that add transaction, put in whatever the date was, and then you would just go through to put in the number of cookies that were sold. So you would have to do that calculation there of what it was from it, and then you can do the money. One little trick I like to do is go ahead and click OK, and then I'll see that it has $146. I just click back into it to edit it, and then put that in and click OK, so it saves it. So you want to have it, or it just it there, edits. Let me say it right now. So it shows 0 balance, then you click save so that it goes ahead and gets it updated there from it. So if you did do a booth by your troop on your own, you could go ahead and record those, and you would do that to each girl that did those booths there from it. Oh, and I forgot to do that. I forgot to click the box. So again, you can always go in and edit it and then save it because you just want to make sure that you're giving them credit for booths so that they earn that booth patch at the 36 boxes there from it for the rewards from there. The next one is going to be what the question was about, was the virtual troop link. So remember that was they could use on the cookie finder, or you could share out that link there to people so that they could purchase shipped or donations, gift of caring cookies there from it. So what you do is you actually are just going to do a negative transaction under that troop link there. You do a negative transaction for the number of cookies that you're removing out from it, and then you just actually do an add transaction to the girl to put that number of cookies there. Just remember to go ahead and put in the amount paid, since it was already paid on here, that you want to go ahead and put that money there when you go and save it there from it. some questions have come up about who should I put those cookies to. And so it's just like you would do if you had extras in your troop there from it, like at a booth. If you go, well, I gave everybody 10 boxes, but we sold 43. So I've got 3 extra boxes that I'll just carry to the end. Then at the end, you might use those extra cookies there to assign them to a girl who may be to bump them up to the next level because maybe they only need 8 boxes to get to the next level. So that's why Avery, we gave her 8 more boxes, whatever, okay, to get her to the next level there from it. So that's why you just want to, you can use it for those things from there. So it's real easy. You just do that negative transaction. So hopefully that answered your question there for doing that, the assigning for that virtual troop link with that from it. So let me just see if I have, nope. Okay, so hopefully that's good, Allison. Otherwise, let me just check and see if there was anything. I don't think there was anything in chat. Okay, nope. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and talk about just Gift of Caring and Hometown Hero. Just remember, Gift of Caring is through the council's Gift of Caring program. So any of those online donation cookies go to the council's Gift of Caring. Those cookies we distribute out through Feeding Tampa Bay and Support the Troops. There from it are the 2 main organizations. I don't know if she'll do any other ones like we did last year from it, but those are the 2 main ones that we do use there. Hometown Hero is where the troop can pick a local organization. And so those cookies would be coming from the troop's physical inventory. So the troop would actually have those cookies and deliver to their hometown hero from it. If the troop doesn't have enough cookies because they were selling them and they go, oh my goodness, I got more hometown heroes than what we actually have cookies left for, then you can either go to the warehouse, order more cookies, cases of cookies if you need it, or you can transfer from another troop. So this is a great way to help out another troop who has extra cookies under that cookie exchange is to get cookies transferred into you. But remember, it should be only the $5 cookies really because that's how much those customers in the system is paying for it from there. Okay, so that so that your troop isn't subsidizing it, having to pay more for it because they are only, customers paying $5 for that cookie there from it. And so Hometown Heroes in eBuddy, you're going to enter the number of boxes into the Hometown Hero. You don't put in the actual number of cookie or the variety of cookies. It's just the number there from it. Again, it will be the $5 from it. And those will actually show in the difference line there. They're assigned from your cookies, but they kind of look like they're unassigned from it. And so I'm just going to kind of show you here what we're talking about, and then I'll go into the demo site. So here is just showing you. So for Kennedy, we did a hometown hero, and so it was 5 boxes there. It's not the number, it's not saying thin mints or tags or do-si-dos or trefoils from it. It's just saying that was 5 boxes. So it gets added in. So she has a total of 9. This troop ended up having a total of 38 boxes here, packages. And so you'll see that their girl totals is 3,814. The troop order is 3,814. You'll see down here it says the difference is 0, but when you look under the tags, you'll see that negative 38 because that hometown hero cookies are assigned to girls as part of their sales. It's just that it's not going to assign the actual cookie there from it. Okay, because the girl didn't get that cookie, the hometown hero is getting the cookie. So that's why we don't actually assign the cookie because we don't ever want it to go be given to the girl, that it's the troop is doing the donation. So it's going to the hometown hero. So that's why we leave them that difference showing there at the bottom so that you will know, what your total cookies are, what your inventory is, what you should be donating to your hometown hero there from it. So Allison, hopefully that answers your question with it. I just do have the other things. Just remember that any of the cookies sold for the Gift of Caring through digital cookie can't be moved to Hometown Hero because it wasn't an actual cookie for your inventory there, that it was through that Gift of Caring. any money, just remember that you want to collect, or the girls collect, then you can assign those cookies in there. But remember, Hometown Hero, you have to deliver there. Hometown Heroes, Gift of Caring, that all goes for the 4 for More program, so they should be getting those entry codes there from it. And again, you just want to make sure you're putting them in the right spot from it. So here, I'll just show you. We'll do it again. So today we had a person who said they wanted to donate to our Hometown Hero. Then we would just go ahead and say that it was 3 packages, and that would be $15 that they gave us. And then we click OK, and we go ahead and save that there. Okay, so then you'll see that it just keeps increasing down here, the amount. And so if we went through our differences, it would show that we would have 25. This one, since I don't have everything assigned there, it's not going to show it as easy and nicely as the other one was. But that's how it goes there from it. And then Gift of Caring. If you have any Gift of Caring ones, again, you just put in what it was. You can say Gift of Caring. And so this one, they would just be paying the money to you, but you're not going to actually have those cookies to donate. Council will donate them. And we'll just say it was 2 boxes for $10 there. And so, okay, and make sure you save it there. And then what happens is that that's going to increase your girl total, and it also increased your inventory there because it adds to what your troop is selling there because you're getting the proceeds from those packages from it. So hopefully that makes sense. I think we're good still on questions. Yep. Okay, but again, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in there from it. And then the other thing I just want to talk about is your sales report. You'll see that on your sales report tab. This is kind of what it looks like there, but I did just want to kind of break it down if you didn't attend last week's cookie chat from it. Just remember, it's going to show you the number of girls selling. It's going to show you what your PGA selling is from it. And we just went through breaking it down. So it shows you how it's calculating your proceeds by the number of packages for $5. So the base rate is 82 cents. If you opt out, you'll get the extra 5 cents there from it. The tiered rate, the higher your PGA is, then you'll get the extra amount for those tiers. So this one is one that opted out from it. So it increased the base rate from 82 cents to 85 cents. So the total number of packages from $5 and $6 is added there. And so it gives you the base of 87 cents there for $374.10. And then if you did the 430 for the extra 2 cents based on that PGA, then that gives them an extra $8.60. So their troop proceeds $382.70 for 430 packages that they sold there from it. And then at the bottom of it, that's where you'll see that in your troop proceeds. So that should be the money, hopefully, if you sell all your cookies, that your troop would be earning there from it. And again, this is going to show you all of your payments. And so some of the questions come about where the amount is owed. Just remember that for the ACHs, because a lot of them questions have come up of why haven't I had an ACH come out yet? Just understand it was based off of your initial order. So if your troop had a very low initial order, or it was based off, if you didn't have an initial order, off your first covered pickup. Depending on how many cookies that was, it may have been a very low number. So $1.25 a package for the first ACH minus the troop proceeds, then it may have only been a very low amount. But if you had a lot of online payments, that's why a lot of troops didn't even have an ACH, because we subtracted it out. And because they had more online payments, than what that $1.25 was due to us there from it. And then for the second ACH sweep, it was only 75 cents off that initial order. And again, if you had a lot of online payments, then you may not have had an ACH sweep for your second one either. We did not want to change it just because troops were ordering light for their initial orders there. We wanted to keep it so we didn't confuse anybody of where we were getting the ACH figures from there from it. So it just happens that this year a lot of troops went back to the warehouse and picked up a lot more cookies several times. So that's why you may be owing a lot more at the end because it's just because you had more covered pickups from it, or you had a lot of shipped orders, things like that from there. So those cookies are added in there from it. But that's where those payments come from. So it's only if you had ACH sweeps or those digital payments that we're taking out from it. Some troops will ask the question about why isn't it showing me what my troop payments about all the money I deposited in my troop bank account. This is not tied to your troop bank account. This is eBuddy. This is only the money that council is receiving in under your troop. So that would be all of the digital cookie orders and the ACH sweep. It is not what payments you have made to your own troop bank account because we don't touch that unless we did the ACH sweep. So at the end here, we will be doing the final amount there. So that's why it's just real important to make sure that you get all your transactions with cookies transferred in and out of your troop so we can make sure that the amount you owe is correct. And that's the same thing about if you have caregivers that are wanting to cancel those girl delivered orders. It's important to get that done as soon as possible so that they can finalize those. So again, we can make sure that we have the proper amount of what your troop is owing to council there from it. And did I lose a slide? Oh my goodness, I think I did. Oh, sorry. That's why I just didn't go through it all here. So outstanding caregivers, this needed just to be down here. Sorry. Outstanding caregiver form. That's due 3/19. And so again, you just that's in the eBuddy Help Center. Under the closing out of the season, you'll find the link there from it on that caregiver form. And actually, I'll just go to the eBuddy Help Center so you can see. This is just showing you how to do the final rewards, kind of walk through. And then we have closing out the season here. So just all the things that we just kind of covered and talked about that you just want to copy and paste or go to, there we go. Here is that link for that form that you'll fill in the information there, total amount that was due, monies you've received, balance still due, the dates, results of attempts you've tried to collect, and then the information. So you should hopefully have that confirmation of the caregiver filling out their permission form, responsibility permission form, and then it would also be the receipts from caregivers for any products that they received and for any funds paid, copies of those receipts, text emails of communication with the caregiver, that shows those attempts there from it, and then a delinquent notification letter email. So it's important to make sure that you are communicating with those caregivers to let them know that money is due as we finish up the sale on the 14th, that they should be getting that money turned into you there as soon as possible, whatever your date you have set for that caregiver to give you the money. But the form needs to be turned into us by the 19th there. Okay, so we need to make sure we're aware of it so that then when we are going through pulling the reports and everything for our we're finishing up for the ACH on the 31st, then we would subtract out the amount so that we can make sure we have the right amount for the invoice that we send out. Just correct that, me in a hurry today. So again, 31st is the final ACH there. So I think I do have a question. Oh, no, maybe not. I thought I did. Oh, okay, in chat. 1 second. Oh. Okay, so Debbie, Yep, you can call that number there. From it, as my time this evening, I won't be able to get with you this evening, but if you call tomorrow, I will be in the office and I can go over it with you from it there. And so, yeah, so just I'll get with you. If you want to put in your 5-digit troop number just so that then I can kind of look ahead of time, maybe before you call you, so that then I can, okay, 61, just so that I can take a look too to see if there's any issues or anything like that from it. Okay, so yeah, I'll get with you tomorrow, Debbie. Okay. Again, I'm going to stay on for a couple more minutes to answer any questions. I am just going to go ahead and end the recording.